You're stuck in a never-ending cycle of work and input, but you're never getting the output that you want, the output you expect. Now you think, if you put in this certain amount of work, you should get a certain amount of output. Isn't that correct? Well, not really. Now, that seems like the logical explanation. It seems like the logical answer, that the more work you put in, the more results you're going to get out. But that's just not how it works. Now, in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys the one-to-one solution for this problem. I'm going to be explaining to you the solution to be able to get the results that you want from the work that you're putting in. Now, if you relate to what I've just said, if you relate and think that you have the same problem, then the slingshot effect is the solution to your problem. Now, I can guarantee you that once I explain what and how the slingshot effect works, you're going to realize that the answer to your problems is not to just put in more blind hours of work, but it is to understand and use the tactic called the slingshot effect. Now, I've had this same problem before. I've been in the same never-ending cycle of continuous input and not getting the output you want. And that is why I'm qualified to explain to you the solution to this problem. So if you want to understand the solution, if you want to understand what the slingshot effect is, go ahead, put this video on full screen. Before you do that, maybe subscribe if you feel like it, but pay attention to this video because this video could change everything. Let's just get to the point. I've dragged this intro on for way too long. Now, the slingshot effect is a three-phased principle. In all of the phases, the names relate to a slingshot. Phase 1 is the loading phase. So the loading phase is when you're pulling the slingshot back. And now, how do you load the slingshot? You load the slingshot by putting in the work. So at this point, phase 1, the loading phase, you're not getting any results. You're just putting in the work. You're just putting in more and more work, pulling the slingshot further and further and further back without getting any results. Now, this phase will last for some people days, for some people months, for some people even years or decades. You're seeing minimal, if any, results. You're not going to be seeing any results, and you're just putting in the work. You're just loading that slingshot with just the work, the input. All that work that you're doing is going into loading the slingshot. Now, phase 2 is the steady growth phase. It has been being loaded for so long that you're putting in all the work, you've loaded the slingshot, and you're slowly starting to see results. The slingshot's about to let off. You're starting to see steady results. So it's not going to be huge results, but you've been putting in the work, and now you're starting to see that results. The results, it starts off like this, and then now it's going to slowly go up like this, alright? You're going to slowly start to see the results, and that is the steady growth phase, which is phase 2 of the slingshot effect. And now for phase 3, the phase which we all wish to get to, the phase which takes some of us months, years, or decades to get to. Phase number 3 is the release phase. This is the point where the slingshot gets released. All of that work, all that time you've been pulling the slingshot back gets released, and your results go through the roof. You are basically putting in the same work you have been from the start, but your results go from this to this to this, alright? Now, this is the release phase. This is when all of the results from all the work you've been putting in will finally come. This is when everything you've been working for is finally paying off. This sounds amazing. This concept sounds great, but this can take years, alright? So the first phase, the loading phase, this could be weeks, months, years. The steady growth phase could be weeks, months, years. The release phase could be weeks, months, years. This could all take years to get to. So this is basically the summarized version of how you see progress. You put in the work, you slowly start to see results, and then all that work you've been putting in, the results go through the roof. Generally, the loading phase, putting in the work, is going to be so much longer than the other two phases. So now you understand the slingshot effect, you understand the 3 phases, you understand how that all works. Now, how do you actually decide what the work you should be putting in is going to be? How do you decide what work to do? How do you decide how to identify the work you should be doing? If you want to go and figure out the work that you should be doing, go and check out this video, subscribe, like this video, have an amazing day. I'll see you guys in the next one. We got basic